Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Versus Education. In today's episode, we're going to be going through all things razor cutting. So before we start the tutorial, I'm going to run you through what razor I prefer to use for cutting hair and a little bit of the technique behind it. So here we have a feather razor. Now this is a little bit different to your standard cutthroat razor. It's shaped more like a scissor handle, and the blades actually take these kinds of blades. So they have a little bit of a textured edge on them. They're actually called safety blades, and the little rigid edges on it actually stop you from cutting your fingers. So if you're going in and razoring really hard, it actually stops you from chopping the hell out of your fingers. So this is why I prefer these for cutting hair. They're really easy to replace the blades. The blade just slides out and the new one slides back in, and extremely ergonomic for all different movements when you're cutting the hair. So same as using a scissor, the third finger goes in, and then you can use the tail to control it, whether you're pointing, cutting, whichever way. There's another way to use the razor. You can actually use it a bit like a pen. So instead of having your hand in, you can just take it out. Or you can hold it this way if you want to, with lots of control if you're doing little bits of detail, or you can use it this way, so more like a pen, and just guide it around, and that will give you great results when you're trying to channel out some weight. Okay, so now that you've seen the razor and a little bit about what it does, let's get into the tutorial.
We'll start this exercise by taking a 1/2 inch section horizontally with the wide teeth of the comb. We're going to secure away the unneeded hair. We're going to switch to the fine teeth of the comb, and we're going to start to comb our section into place. I've decided to work on the side of the head, as I believe this is the easiest place to learn how to use the razor. You'll notice that the hand holding the razor is working in very short movements, and the hand holding the hair is not moving at all. This is for ultimate control when cutting the hair. Now you can see the kind of edge that this is left. A somewhat broken up edge, but still full.
So you can see, using a shorter stroke movement with the razor, you're going to get a very similar line to what you get if you're cutting it with the scissors. Slightly more broken up, but it still has a blunt finish. Let's move on to the next one.
So for this next exercise, we're going to go back in and we're going to take a new section using the wide teeth of the comb. We're going to work on the same panel of the head, so we can use our last section as a guideline. Remember, don't make these sections too thick, as we want the razor to work as efficiently as possible. Again, we're going to switch to the fine teeth of the comb, and we're going to pull out our section to reveal the guideline. You can see the guideline here. We're going to take a small section of our previous section and join that into our new section. And now we're going to decide how we're going to cut. Do we want to start the movement here, here, or here? We're going to start in the middle and gradually work our way to the ends. Remember being very light with your stroke here. It's important to put a new blade in your razor every single haircut. Trying to do this technique with a blunt blade will be very difficult, and you'll feel you have to apply way too much pressure. So to keep this movement light, it's really important to use a sharp blade. So you can see now the type of edge that this is built up, a broken up edge with a lot less structure than the first time.
So you can see it's very important to pick where you're going to start the razor stroke. Here I started in the mid shaft of the hair and gradually tapered it out to the end of the hair, with a focus of making sure I remove the length at the ends. This removes a little bit of density as you're cutting the weight, so it's a 2-in-1. You can leave a really disheveled line, a nice textured edge, whilst removing the length. A very quick and efficient method to use in the salon.
So for our last exercise here, we're going to take the wide teeth of the comb and take our new section. Remember, not making this section too wide and clipping away any unnecessary hair. We're going to switch to the fine teeth of the comb. Again, we're going to take some hair from our previous section and bring it into our new one. This will allow us to find where our guideline is. Now we have to decide where we're going to start the stroke. This time we're going to start high. We're going to gently glide the razor down the hair shaft, creating a tapered effect from roots to ends. Again, it's extremely important to have a nice sharp blade in your razor here, and ensuring that the hair is either sprayed with water or relieving moisturizer at all times. So you can see the edge that this has created here, an extremely broken up, disheveled edge with minimal structure.
So you can see now what using a longer stroke looks like. It's not optimal for most people's hair. It gives you a very particular look. If anything, sometimes this can increase the density at the roots because you've got so many shorter pieces really close to the scalp and longer pieces to the ends. But if you want a really interesting, disheveled, messy, chewed up look, give this one a try. So I just want to talk a little bit about tool selection. A razor is a fantastic tool to have in your arsenal, but it's not the be-all and end-all. There are many different tools for many different things. I think one of the best things about becoming a well-rounded hair cutter is picking the right tool for the right job and when. It's important to not shy away from any particular tool. You never know when you're going to need it. A razor has many uses. You can remove length with it, you can remove density with it, you can also do both at the same time. You can create so much movement in the hair, the possibilities are endless, but knowing how and when to use it is the most important thing. As always guys, thank you so much for watching the tutorial. I hope you could take something away from this. Let me know in the comments how you went. We'll see you shortly for more education.